2 starts into the season, and Cam Schlittler has already done something no pitcher in New York Yankees history has ever done. That sounds like a headline, but the deeper truth is more uncomfortable for the rest of the league. This might not be a hot streak, because when you strip away the surface numbers, what Schlittler is doing isn't just dominant, it's repeatable. And that's what makes this dangerous. Schlittler's second start of 2026 came against the Seattle Mariners. The line, 6 1/3 scoreless innings, 7 strikeouts, no walks, just 2 hits. He retired the final 15 hitters he faced. His first outing nearly identical, 5 1/3 scoreless, 8 strikeouts, 1 hit allowed against the San Francisco Giants. Add it up, and you get back-to-back starts with at least 5 scoreless innings and 7 strikeouts, something no Yankees pitcher has ever opened a season with. On paper, it looks like early season dominance, but the way it's happening tells a completely different story. The obvious takeaway is power. Schlittler's four-seam fastball is overwhelming hitters. Against Seattle, there were 18 swings against it, and only 7 made contact. That's not just good, it's suppression. Hitters are late. When they do connect, it's weak. The swing decisions look rushed, almost defensive. Combine that with 0 walks across both starts, and the narrative writes itself. He's attacking the zone, trusting his stuff, and overpowering lineups. And yes, that's true. But if this were just about velocity and raw stuff, we wouldn't be talking about historic efficiency this early. There's something more controlled happening underneath. The key isn't the fastball itself, it's when and how he's using it. Schlittler is establishing timing before he ever tries to break it. Early in counts, he shows hitters a version of the fastball they can see, but not handle. It's not about getting swings and misses immediately. It's about planting hesitation. Once that hesitation sets in, he expands, not wildly, but just enough. A slight elevation, a subtle shift in location. Now hitters are no longer reacting, they're guessing. And that's where his efficiency shows up. Instead of chasing strikeouts every at-bat, Schlittler is guiding hitters into bad decisions early. Weak contact, defensive swings, quick outs. That stretch against Seattle, 15 straight retired, wasn't built on highlight pitches. It was built on control of tempo. He sped hitters up, then slowed them down without ever changing his demeanor. That's advanced pitching, not just execution, but orchestration. Here's the part most people are missing. The pitch limit is shaping his dominance. Schlittler hasn't been allowed to go deep into games yet, around 65 to 70 pitches. On the surface, that feels like a restriction. In reality, it's forcing precision. There's no room to waste pitches feeling out a lineup, no margin for drifting through an inning. Every sequence has to be intentional from pitch 1. That creates a version of pitching that's hyper-focused, compressed, efficient, and hitters feel that immediately. They don't get the typical early game window to adjust. By the time they think they've timed him, the outing is already slipping away. So, ironically, the one thing holding him back might actually be amplifying what makes him effective. The defining shift in his Mariners start came when he stopped chasing strikeouts. Midway through the outing, instead of leaning into swing and miss, Schlittler adjusted to contact management. He trusted his positioning, trusted his sequencing. That's when the game flipped. Those final 15 outs came quickly, not because hitters gave up, but because they were out of sync. And that decision, leaning into efficiency over dominance, extended his outing and preserved his control. It's a subtle adjustment, but it's the difference between a strong start and total command of a game. Now look at what this means for the Yankees. As a rotation, they've been nearly untouchable. 33 2/3 innings, just 2 earned runs allowed to start the season. But Schlittler changes the equation because he's not just producing results, he's doing it in a way that scales to postseason baseball. In October, margins shrink, velocity matters less, execution matters more, timing becomes everything. And right now, Schlittler is winning on timing. There's also the developmental curve to consider. A year ago, he was in Double-A. Now he's showing advanced sequencing, elite command, and composure under constraints. That kind of progression suggests sustainability, not regression. And if his pitch count expands as the season goes on, the impact could multiply quickly. Cam Schlittler's start to 2026 looks historic, but the real takeaway isn't the history, it's the control. The way he dictates timing, the way he compresses innings, the way he turns small advantages into complete dominance. This isn't a pitcher overpowering hitters. It's a pitcher removing their options entirely. And if that continues, the Yankees didn't just find another arm. They may have found a pitcher who understands how to win games at the smallest and most decisive level. Nobody saw this coming. Not like this. 2 starts into the season, and a relatively unknown arm just did something no pitcher in New York Yankees history has ever done. Not Jarrett Cole. Not any legend before him. Nobody. And the scary part, it doesn't even look hard for Cam Schlittler. Here's what just happened. Schlittler took the mound against the Seattle Mariners and didn't just pitch well. He erased them. 6 1/3 innings. 0 runs, 7 strikeouts, 2 hits, no walks. Then he retired the final 15 hitters in a row like he flipped a switch and ended the game early. That makes back-to-back starts to open 2020-26 with at least 5 scoreless innings and 7 strikeouts. No Yankee has ever done that to start a season. Ever. And this isn't some veteran heating up early. This is a guy who was in Double-A a year ago. Now the tension starts to build. Because this didn't begin here. It started quietly last postseason. Winner-take-all game against the Boston Red Sox, Schlittler walks in, unknown to most fans, and walks out after 8 scoreless innings with 12 strikeouts. No fear, no hesitation, just execution. That wasn't supposed to be the beginning of something. It was supposed to be a moment. But now it looks like a warning. Even his season debut hinted at this. Against the San Francisco Giants, he struck out 8 in just over 5 innings. 1 hit allowed. The only thing that slowed him down? A pitch count. And that's where the real conflict sits. Because right now, the only thing capable of stopping Schlittler is the Yankees themselves. His fastball is getting swings, but barely any real contact. Hitters are late. They're guessing. They're missing. Out of 18 swings against it, only 7 even touched the ball. That's not just dominance. That's control over timing, over rhythm, over the entire at-bat. This isn't luck. This is command. And here's the turning point, the part that changes everything. It's not just Schlittler. The entire Yankees rotation is rolling. Over 33 innings pitched, they've allowed just 2 earned runs, 35 strikeouts, a staff-wide stranglehold on opposing lineups. That means Schlittler isn't carrying the team. He's amplifying something that's already dangerous. Now the impact hits. The Yankees are 5-1, best record in the American League, and suddenly, they don't just have a strong rotation, they might have a problem for the rest of baseball. Because when a team starts stacking dominant arms, pressure shifts fast. Opponents press, lineups tighten, mistakes multiply, and Schlittler, he's pitching like he doesn't even feel it. But here's the edge. He hasn't been fully unleashed yet. Limited in spring, managed pitch counts, carefully handled, which means everything we've seen might not even be the full version. 2 starts, 0 runs. History already made. And the most dangerous part, he's just getting started.